Hello, my name's Emma. This is Emma's ESL English, and I wanted to do a series of videos for you about interviews. I have had a lot of interviews over the years, and so I thought it might be fun to, maybe not fun. Fun is maybe not the right word. Anyway, some videos for you about how you can best prepare for interviews, what you can do to really set yourself up for success. And at some point a little bit later, I can tell you about how I can help you with that outside of these videos. But I think a lot of the videos you can do yourself. So as long as you just watch the videos and have a go, I think you can do it. This is kind of fun. The sun has moved. I'm videoing this in my grandma's garden. The sun has moved and now you can see my tripod. Looks like it's trying to choke me. It's not. It's just a tripod. I don't know how I can fix that. Y'all just try and forget it's not happening. I'm going to try and speak a little bit quieter in the hope that the rabbits might come out. And there's a lot of swallows buzzing around up there, which I hope maybe you'll be able to see. There's one in the distance. Where are they going? There's one. Did you see it? Am I getting them? You can see a few of them dipping and diving. Anyway, I'm kind of being swarmed by bugs here. So if you see me waving my arms, that's tractors. I've got tractors going past. A lot is happening. If you see me waving my arms, it's because of the bugs. I apologize. There goes the tractor. Okay. I wanted to do this in a neat location. I feel like this is not going to work. If this doesn't work, I'll just do one video and I'll do the other somewhere else. Okay, let's wait and see how we go. Okay, so the first one I wanted to do was to talk to you about my best and my worst interview experiences. I should probably tell you before I start, I have had a lot of interviews over the years. Maybe that makes it sound really bad. I've had a lot of different jobs, to be honest. I've worked in a lot of different places. If you guys go and take a look at my LinkedIn profile, which you can get to from the bottom of the website, which is emmaseslenglish.com. Yeah, take a look at my LinkedIn profile. You will see there's a lot of jobs. But actually, I'm okay with that because all those jobs have given me some amazing experiences, and I've been able to travel around the world and do a bunch of stuff. And I really think that all of that experience helps me help you. So this interview kind of thing that I'm going to do is really what's come of my own experiences of going from disastrous interviews to successful interviews, to the point that almost every job I went for, I was getting the interview. Starting from the point where almost every job I went to, I was not getting the job. So opposite ends of the spectrum. So I will talk you through all of the things that I did to get to the point where I was getting all of the jobs. So that if you want to get a job, of course it depends what kind of job you want to get, right? If you're just talking about like a little weekend job, which is really important if you're 16, this will definitely help you get that job for sure. But it may be kind of overkill, just a little bit. I would say this is best for if you want to go for your dream job, right? You want to go for the job that you want to get at the company that you want to work for. Then what I'm going to work through over this little interview block of things is what you could potentially do to help yourself get that job. Some of these things you're doing so that you can answer the questions that they ask you. And some of these things you're doing so that you have your confidence, you have your own confidence, so that you can answer the questions and just walk into the interview feeling confident. That was a huge thing for me. I hated interviews so much. And after a while I got so that I knew what I was doing and I didn't hate them so much anymore. I think they're starting to bite me now, these bugs that are invading me. Okay, so best and worst interviews. My worst interview was when I still lived in Glasgow, so probably early 20s, somewhere in there. And I was looking at retail. I was working in retail already, and the whole idea was this lady was going to help me. So it was an agent situation. She was going to help me get a better job in retail. And she got me this job interview at this really big, expensive store. Now, the thing is, until that point, I had been working in sports stores mostly. So I had a big confidence problem because I didn't feel like I fit in this big, fancy, expensive store. So that was the first problem. I didn't know much about it, and I was pretty sure I didn't fit into most of the clothes either. So there was definitely some issues for me in going for this job. I felt very much that imposter syndrome, for sure, going into these shops. So that was one of the biggest problems. The other problem was the interview did not go as planned. So we were having the interview. It was really quite short. And at a certain point, she asked me if I had any questions. And I said no, because I thought I was in the middle of the interview. She'd only asked me a few questions. I was really sure. And I had questions. I'd prepared questions for the end of the interview, but I didn't feel like it was that. So I said, no, I'm okay. And she looked at me like really offended. Not really offended, but like peeved. The lady was peeved. How dare you come unprepared to this interview, was the impression I got from her. And she said, right, okay, then bye. And I was like, wait, what? But at that point, I had already had the interview. I was already super nervous because of the interview. And now it was all going wrong because I should have said, yes, I have some questions. But I said, no, I don't have any questions. And I thought I was in the middle of the interview, and it turned out I was at the end of the interview. And I felt like I was panicking. I was in a hard panic, and my brain was not functioning well at all. It doesn't in a hard panic. It really doesn't. So I just said, okay, thank you, bye, and ran right away. Needless to say, I did not get the job. I think I wasn't going to get the job from the moment I walked in, actually. That interview was way too short. It's one of those situations where I feel like she already had someone in mind, or at least I was not somebody that she had in mind. So I don't think I could have won, but definitely I did nothing to help myself. Nothing. It was not good. And I felt terrible afterwards too. Definitely the worst. Definitely the worst. The best interview I had was for my second volunteer management job. I really wanted a job because my previous employment had been an 18-month contract. The project was over, so it was done. There was nothing I could do about that. So I really wanted a job. I wanted a permanent contract. This was after I'd come back from Korea. And there were so many things, right? I liked the charity. I liked what it stood for. It was based in an area where I already had friends, so I was going to be happy to move to the area. I was excited about what they did. It seemed like the job was perfect. There were so many things I loved about it. So this was a dream job situation for me, without a doubt. And the timing worked out pretty well because I had about 3 weeks from my application being approved and me getting the notice that I was going to have an interview to me actually having the interview was about 3 weeks long. I would say that's ideal. If you have 3 weeks, make the most of your 3 weeks. If you have 1 week, make the most of your 1 week. All of the things I'm going to tell you, you can do no matter how much time you have. It just means if you have more time, you can do it more thoroughly. You can do a better job. Okay, so I prepared. All the 3 weeks I prepared. I knew everything about that charity. I knew everything about the job. I knew everything about anything that I could find online. I looked at their website. I looked at LinkedIn. I looked at Glassdoor. I researched like a lot. And I did a lot of research, and also I answered a lot of questions. I knew the questions I'd been asked at previous interviews, and I really sat down and thought about how would I do that differently? What would I do next? What other questions might they ask me? I did a lot. And when I got out of the interview, they were very, very positive in the interview. There was one question he asked me that I didn't know the answer to, and I said, I don't know the answer to that. I don't think I've seen that written down anywhere. And he said, okay, no, that's great. Thank you for letting me know. And afterwards, once I got the job, I asked him, and he said I was the most prepared person. I did the best interview, and I couldn't have answered that question anyway because it wasn't anywhere online that I would be able to access. It was kind of a trick question, I think. Anyway, so there was really positive feedback, and bonus, I got the job. So it's all of those tricks that I'm going to teach you, and those tricks I have built up over decades of going to interviews. So I hope they will be useful to you, and we will definitely cover them in the future, but probably from a different location, because right now I am being eaten alive by bugs. The rabbits are not coming out. I really wanted you to see the rabbits, but they're not. They're too quiet. But up there you can see the swallows and the house martins are having a really good time eating all of these bugs that are eating me. Okay, I'm going now. I'm done with this. Plus my grandma's cat needs to go to bed, so. All right. Okay, it was good to see you all. I will see you in the next video. Probably going to be sitting in my house instead. All right. See you then. Bye.